The world watched in absolute fascination as a former Olympic swimmer prepared to become a princess, but what unfolded behind the palace walls in Monaco during those final days of May 2011 would become one of the most controversial moments in modern royal history. The wedding of Charlene Wittstock and Prince Albert of Monaco on May 27, 2011, appeared to be a fairy tale come true, a spectacular celebration of love between a South African beauty and European royalty, but beneath the surface of champagne toasts and designer gowns, a completely different story was taking shape that would captivate the world for years to come. Before we dive deeper into this incredible story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our exclusive royal content. Drop a comment below telling us what you think really happened, and don't forget to share this video with anyone who loves royal drama and untold stories. Charlene Wittstock was not your typical royal bride. This stunning blonde athlete had represented South Africa in swimming at the 2000 Sydney Olympics, competing in the women's 4x100-meter medley relay where her team finished fifth. She was strong, independent, accomplished in her own right, and had built a life completely separate from the world of tiaras and protocol. Her path crossed with Prince Albert at a swimming competition in Monaco in 2000, the very same year she competed in the Olympics, and what began as a chance encounter would eventually lead to one of the most scrutinized relationships in royal circles. Prince Albert himself carried significant baggage into this relationship. As the son of the legendary Grace Kelly and Prince Rainier III, he inherited not just a throne but an impossible legacy to live up to. His mother, the American actress who became a real-life princess, had set a standard of elegance and grace that captured the world's imagination. But Albert's personal life had been far from the fairy tale his parents represented. By the time he proposed to Charlene, the prince had already acknowledged fathering two children out of wedlock with two different women, Alexander Coast born in 2003 to Nicole Coast, and Jasmine Grace Grimaldi born in 1992 to Tamara Rotolo. Neither of these children would have succession rights to the throne, but their existence spoke volumes about the complexity of the man Charlene was about to marry. The couple's relationship progressed slowly and largely out of the public eye for several years. They made their first official public appearance together at the opening ceremony of the 2006 Winter Olympics in Turin, Italy, a moment that signaled to the world that this was indeed a serious relationship. The engagement announcement came on June 23, 2010. When Albert presented Charlene with a stunning 3-carat pear-shaped diamond ring designed by Parisian jeweler Rapassi. The world rejoiced at the news that Monaco would finally have a princess again, that the confirmed bachelor prince had found his match, and that a new chapter in the principality's royal history was about to begin. But then came the spring of 2011, and with it, whispers that would explode into full-blown international scandal. In the days leading up to the wedding, rumors began circulating through European media that something was terribly wrong. Reports emerged claiming that Charlene had attempted to flee Monaco not once, but 3 times in the days before the ceremony. The most explosive allegation suggested that she had actually made it to the Nice airport, passport in hand, ready to board a flight back to South Africa, only to be stopped and convinced to return. Some versions of the story claimed that Monaco officials had confiscated her passport to prevent her from leaving, while others suggested she was persuaded through more diplomatic means to fulfill her commitment. The timing of these alleged escape attempts coincided with reports that Charlene had learned devastating information about Albert just days before their wedding. According to various sources, a third love child scandal was about to break, suggesting that Albert had fathered yet another child during the time he was already in a relationship with Charlene. The emotional impact of such a revelation, if true, would have been absolutely crushing for any bride, let alone one about to step into the unforgiving spotlight of royal life. The palace vehemently denied all of these claims, dismissing them as baseless rumors and malicious gossip designed to undermine what should have been a joyous occasion. Official representatives insisted that Charlene never attempted to leave Monaco, that her passport was never confiscated, and that the reports were nothing more than sensationalized fiction. They maintained that any suggestion of problems between the couple was completely unfounded and that both Albert and Charlene were excited and happy about their upcoming nuptials. Yet when the wedding day finally arrived, the entire world was watching with unprecedented scrutiny, analyzing every gesture, every expression, every moment for signs of truth. The civil ceremony took place on July 1, 2011, in the throne room of the prince's palace, followed by the religious ceremony on July 2 at the palace's outdoor courtyard. The bride wore a stunning Armani privé gown, adorned with 40,000 Swarovski crystals and 20,000 mother-of-pearl teardrops, a dress that took 2,500 hours to create. She looked absolutely breathtaking, every inch a picture-perfect princess. But photographs from that day tell a story that transcends the designer dress and diamond tiara. In image after image, Charlene's face appears strained, her smile forced, her eyes revealing something that contradicted the happiness that should have radiated from a blushing bride. In some of the most widely circulated photos, she appears to be crying or on the verge of tears, leading to countless analyses and interpretations about what was really happening in those moments. Was this simply the overwhelming emotion of a life-changing day, or was it evidence of something far more troubling? The contrast between how Charlene looked on her wedding day and how other royal brides have appeared at their ceremonies became a subject of endless discussion. The world remembered Diana's fairy-tale wedding to Prince Charles, Kate Middleton's radiant smile as she married Prince William, even Meghan Markle's confident joy walking down the aisle to Prince Harry. But Charlene's expression seemed different, and people noticed. In the years following the wedding, Charlene has addressed these rumors in various interviews, though never in exhaustive detail. She has acknowledged that the days before her wedding were extremely difficult and that she was overwhelmed by the pressure and the circumstances surrounding the ceremony. She has admitted to feeling trapped and struggling with the massive life change she was facing. However, she has consistently maintained that she never actually attempted to flee the country and that despite the challenges, she chose to move forward with the marriage because she loved Albert. The princess has also spoken about the cultural shock of transitioning from her life in South Africa to the rigid protocols and expectations of Monaco's royal court. She left behind her family, her career, her identity as an accomplished athlete, and entered a world where every move would be photographed, analyzed, and judged. The weight of becoming Grace Kelly's successor, stepping into shoes that many considered impossible to fill, added another layer of pressure that few could truly comprehend. What makes this story even more compelling is what happened in the years that followed. Charlene struggled visibly with her role, often appearing uncomfortable at public events, rarely smiling in photographs, and seeming isolated within the palace walls. She and Albert welcomed twins, Prince Jacques and Princess Gabriella, in December 2014, providing the principality with heirs and seemingly cementing the family unit. Yet rumors about the state of their marriage have persisted, with reports of the couple living separate lives, spending extended time apart, and maintaining what some have described as more of a formal arrangement than a love match. The princess has faced ongoing speculation about her happiness, her health, and her commitment to remaining in Monaco. In 2021, she spent months in South Africa, initially for what was described as medical treatment related to an ear, nose, and throat infection, but the extended absence fueled renewed speculation about the true nature of her relationship with Albert and whether she was once again considering leaving the marriage. What really happened in those final days of May 2011 remains one of modern royalty's most intriguing mysteries. Did Charlene truly attempt to flee, or were the reports nothing more than sensationalized gossip designed to sell newspapers? Was she devastated by new revelations about Albert's past, or was she simply an overwhelmed bride facing the natural anxieties that come with such a monumental life change? The truth likely lies somewhere in the complex middle ground, a mixture of real struggles, genuine challenges, and the heavy burden of royal expectations colliding with personal doubts and fears. The wedding of Charlene Wittstock and Prince Albert represents more than just another royal ceremony. It symbolizes the incredible pressure placed on individuals who enter into these public relationships, the sacrifice of personal autonomy that comes with a royal title, and the question of whether love alone can sustain a marriage built on such an unequal foundation of power, expectation, and public scrutiny. It reminds us that behind every tiara and every perfectly choreographed royal wave stands a real human being with fears, doubts, and struggles that we may never fully understand. So here's the question that continues to haunt this story more than a decade later. If you were standing in Charlene's shoes on that day in 2011, knowing everything she knew, facing everything she faced, would you have walked down that aisle, or would you have found the courage to walk away?